Hi, I'm Donis with Anime World.
This is my recap for the 2023
called
anime
Kingdom of Ruin.
If you like my recap,
Please consider subscribing.
the story begins as we are
That
told
God created humanity,
and then he created witches. God, being much nicer than I would be, shared his power with the witches and told them that in his place they shall guide the powerless humans. The witches agreed and swore to dedicate themselves to helping humans
the name
in
of friendship.
However, in the present day, things have taken a horrific turn. A scene shows a large group of ungrateful humans preparing to execute a witch as they scream that they don't need witches and they should be eradicated. The witch hopes that they will all die, but she beats them to it. Elsewhere, our protagonist, named Adonis, who is a witch's apprentice, complains about how tired his
And
legs
how
are,
it's way too hot.
which makes sense since it's a desert. Adonis grows frustrated since the witch he travels
Named
with,
Chloe,
isn't listening and interrupts him to tell him to quiet down. Adonis wants her to at least use magic to check their location, since it would be a lot cooler than
Old
using
school
a
map.
But she calls him an idiot and reminds a boy that magic isn't that cheap. The map lover threatens to leave him behind and gets even more upset when Adonis uses a device to determine where they are. Little Miss hates technology, is furious since she told them numerous times to not use that weird machine, since the people looking for them use it to find them. Adonis calms her down by explaining not a weird device, it's actually a smartphone, and he made this one himself, so it can't be used to track them. Our proud little nerd explains that his device uses free-form summoning magic to replace its radio waves with multi-dimensional photons, so not even the army's triangulation
can find
technology,
them.
and it doesn't need batteries. The technological genius points out that using maps in this day and age is pretty lame. But Chloe is not impressed. Princess, stuck in her ways, says that they are ready to move again. But Adonis has gotten very serious, and he asks her why they have to keep running. Chloe explains that it's because she is a witch, and attitudes towards witches have changed, now simply living as a struggle, blending in when in human cities, living away from human towns. If anything, she is more like a ninja than a witch. Unfortunately, her terrible joke doesn't land, so the two pretend it didn't happen and just keep moving. During their journey, Chloe reminds him that they need to find a place that's tolerant towards witches, so they can reclaim their peaceful, happy life. They also need to find a school for him to attend, but our brilliant little technology lover surprisingly explains that school sucks, and he rather keep studying under her. Chloe inappropriately teases him about liking older women, and the two move on. Adonis can't help but wonder why Chloe isn't frustrated. He hates the Red Empire that they reside in, and the evil little dude desperately wants eradicate humans using magic. Just then, Adonis senses something approaching, and a group of soldiers report back to their headquarters that they have spotted a fugitive witch. Adonis fearlessly states that he will handle the human scum, but Chloe stops him and explains that he is far too inexperienced. Chloe, who better have something good up her sleeve, after holding our boy back like that, starts off with some ice magic. As a staff appears in her hand, she sighs while stating that humans never learn, and unleashes her spell. Elsewhere, a man, just like my accountant, apologizes to Emperor. Go with the Emperor, with a mustache, looking like a masterpiece of grooming, calls him an incompetent fool, but the suit explains that Chloe's a high-ranking who uses ice magic. He tries to explain that a single squadron isn't enough to defeat her, but someone's foot comes out of nowhere to silence him. My content is told to learn his place, but he explains that he wasn't doing anything wrong. The Emperor silences everyone and just instructs them to bring Chloe him immediately, as he refuses to let her escape. Back to the fight. Chloe's in the coolest pose she can make, and we see that she is exhausted after defeating the hopelessly weak humans. Adonis isn't saying anything and is furious that Chloe always holds him back. He exclaims that he can use spells and wonders why she won't let him fight. Adonis thinks he could have handled those measly wimps easily. He doesn't see the point in studying magic if she won't let him use it. Miss interrupts our boy again and reiterates that he is just too inexperienced with magic. This crazy kid then interrupts her by bringing down a massive sword straight down from the heavens and asking her, how could a student of hers be considered inexperienced? Chloe doesn't even address the good point he just made, and simply tells him if he whines too much, she will get mad. However, Adonis has come to a conclusion and assumes that she must be treating him because he is a human like them. He believes that she doesn't want him to kill his own because she is too nice. Because of this, no matter how much they mistreat her, she suppresses her emotions, so he won't fight humans, and she never allows him to fight them. Adonis is at his limit though, and he can't stand not being able to protect her anymore. He tries to express his feelings, but she stops him and just tells him that she feels the same. They embrace. One of the humans, turned popsicle stick, has a device that confirms their location. Just then, our duo begins to flow, and Chloe is shocked to realize that humans completed something. She points out that not even witches can achieve long-distance physical travel, but that seems to be what's happening. The her orthodontist tells her that things will be okay, and he will always be by her side. A look into space shows some pretty out-of-place technology. It's a space station, and the people aboard explain that the transfer so far as success. The drop-off coordinates are set, and a transfer countdown begins. Back on Earth, Emperor Go gives a speech. He removes his crown so the peasant people can relate to him more, and he starts off saying that he's speaking to not as their emperor, but as a human being. The emperor is sporting the coolest mustache around, points out that mankind has protected by magic. Whenever natural disasters or plagues occurred, they depend on witches, expressed their gratitude, revered them, and feared them. Due to their power, exceeding human knowledge, known as magic, Emperor Gowith believes this to be unjust. He states that humans are not just weaklings who must bow to the witches and beg for their assistance. Gowith, who could probably convince a cat to buy a dog with his speech skills, tells them to behold mankind's creations. Their countless airships fly through the sky, and their metropolis fears no storm. The automatic trains driving through their cities will open up new frontiers. And in their hands, they hold the fruit of their wisdom, the smartphone, a device that can be used to play sweet games and watch anicat videos. He tells them that humans are not weak. Even without magic, they can mold the natural world and control it with their strength. Goth with smooth talk, so good he could sell ketchup as tomato smoothies, tells his people that now is the time to eradicate witches and show the world that they are supreme rulers. Some random girl compliments the genocidal maniac on his fantastic murder speech, and he states that the world will surely move in a positive direction once the witches are eradicated. Just then a beam of light strikes the stage, and we see that Adonis and Chloe have been teleported. The two can't believe the terrible things the crowd is saying to them, and become angry when they see that it Emperor Go that brought them. The ever-valiant Adonis instantly sprints to action, telling Chloe to run so he can buy her time to escape. He gets stopped pretty fast though, and Goth is disgusted to see that this human boy has been raised by a witch. We then see that Chloe isn't just some annoying interrupter, as she becomes enraged and tells Goth that if he values the lives of his people, then he needs to let go of young apprentice. Not one to make empty threats, Chloe begins a powerful absolute zero ice magic spell and determines that silence is his answer. Something big is coming, so Chloe speaks the citizens. She states that they are humans, just like Adonis, so she didn't want to fight them. If she were to destroy them, Adonis wouldn't have a home to return to. This is why she has allowed them up to this point. However, are proving themselves to be too dangerous, and she begins her spell. Unfortunately, she's utterly shocked to see that her magic just stops. Gowith, with his impeccable stash, explains she cannot understand the power of science humans have acquired. We see the magic photon suppression device that nullifies her magic, and the humans, the crowd, have a good laugh, like they actually did something themselves. As if proud, Gorth expresses his doubt that she even considered the human she once held would someday chase her down. Adonis, never willing to give up, as our brave protagonist tries to use his pen but can't understand why his magic isn't working. Gowith explains that it's time for witches like Chloe to hand over the world and backhand her right in the face. As if that weren't bad enough, she's completely exposed, and the crowd begins to take pictures. Adonis is furious to see his teacher humiliated and vows to kill them all, but is once again stopped. He keeps trying, but all he can do is tell her to wait him, and soon he will be right by her side again. Gowith has had enough of the boy and orders the boy be shot in the head. Chloe completely changes her defiant attitude to save our boy and bows to the emperor. She takes all the blame and explains the boy has nothing to do with it. He is like them, a human. She lies by saying that she kidnapped him and raised him as her slave. He is a poor, miserable human boy. Completely out of character, Chloe begs and pleads the emperor have mercy on him, and she doesn't care what happens to her. Adonis is in absolute disbelief when she offers to be a slave. With frenzied fury, he writes wildly on the ground, every ounce of sand and seemingly abandoned, as he swears to kill them all. Gowith, uninterested in her offer, points a gun at her. Chloe, realizing what is about to happen, calmly calls out to Adonis and thanks him for everything. We get a quick glimpse when they first met. Chloe took in the homeless, angry little kid and tells him now that she's glad that they met. She begins to say the words, "I love you," before she can finish. The cold bill to Gowith ends her life. Adonis, frozen in horror, is mortified, and before her body can even hit the ground, soldiers follow up his shot with a barrage of bullets. Adonis begs for them to stop, but they are relentless. Their life together flashes before Chloe's eyes, and she thinks about she was truly happy. The crowd cheers with utter jubilation, and Goa finalizes her death by having her head cut off. We then learn the rest of what God said when he shared his power with the witches. He told the witches that the humans may fear them as they are timid. He hoped that they would become friends and bring eternal peace to the world. However, should they hate one another in fight that may the darkness of chaos envelope the world. With Chloe dead and Adonis consumed raging fury, the real story cannot begin. We move forward 10 years. A couple of prisoners are arguing over some food, but a girl named Daroka offers them her food they can stop. One of the rude girls takes her offer, but Daroka's friend Anna points out that Daroka gives someone her food earlier. Daroka keeps her spirits though and shows how much energy she still has with a strange dance. Anna points out that no matter how much technology advances, thanks to gear expansion, people keep fighting among themselves. The wars never stopped. She remembers being told that humanity would be happy once the witches were gone, but that hasn't come true yet. Anna, always staying positive, lightens the mood with some expert level puppeteering. Through her puppeteering act, we learn that our prisoners, because they lost to the Empire, Daroka uses the puppet to assure Anna that everything will be okay. Just then, arrive to call prisoner no 218 others. Gossip about how those get called never come back. And Anna is terrified when she realizes that she is no 218. The soldiers demand that the prisoners speak up, and Daroka fearlessly steps forward. Daroka is taken away, leaving Anna in complete disbelief, since that was her number. And as if that wasn't dramatic enough, we see that Daroka left her puppets behind with their number. Derek is taken to a place where she finds she will serve as a slave. She sees what happens to those that refuse, and the flamboyantly dressed warden explains that she needs serve the Empire just like everyone else. He states that running the prison costs money, taxpayers' money, the blood tax of the Empire's people. He asks her who brought about the gear expansion and the explosive rise of human civilization, who used their scientific and military might to defeat the witches and seize dignity for humanity. He answers her own question by stating it was them, the Rajya Empire. He is sure that she will fetch a good price and take selfie with her, but instantly regrets it when she bites his finger. Daroka makes an attempt at escape and tries to open the cells using the warden's phone. Unfortunately, their technology has voice authentication. She tries to ask it nicely, but that doesn't work, so she does her best impression of the warden. Luckily, her feminine voice is pretty similar to the flamboyant warden, and it works. She tells the prisoners to run, and with that, chaos ensues. Amidst the chaos, Daroka has to very special cell made especially for a very powerful person. Daroka's taken down by the soldiers out that all are opening, and they're in very big trouble. Just then, begin to sound, and the chamber begins to open. The guards panic with fear, and we see that the overwhelmingly angry Adonis. The guards tremble in fear, and Adonis, with unparalleled anger, breaks free from his shackles. With fear in his voice, the guards point out that prisoner 1001 is free, and he wants to report to the chief. There is no time though, so they make the incredibly wrong decision to try and put back the chamber. These hopeless fools think it will help if they all go at once. Adonis instantly eliminates one of them without a single word or wasted movement. Adonis expertly finishes the other two. Daroka, probably wishing she still her puppets, is terrified out of her mind, and Adonis begins approach her. She begs Adonis not to do anything, but immeasurable anger courses through him, and it, as if words can't reach him. He fires a shot at her, but we see that he somehow able to still be merciful as he only shattered chains. An announcement is made in the prison, warning that all cell doors and corridor partitions have been opened elsewhere. Director Yamato, whose Urlo could probably be seen from space, tells a blonde guy to handle the situation at the prison, and gives him permission to arm himself with weapons greater than Class 5. This guy speaks far too casually for Vice Director Yuki's liking, and is sent on his way. Yuki promises to kill that blonde boy eventually, but Yamato warns against it as he is a high-ranking executive just like her. Director Pancake for Urlo is confident the guy's abilities, but knows the prison is quite dangerous. At the prison, the chaos continues, and it is reported to the warden that even the confiscated item storage has been open. He can't believe that the Roka managed to crack his phone's voice authentication system, and is deeply frustrated by her choice to free the one person they couldn't afford to let escape elsewhere. We see Adonis atop a building. He tests his powers by firing a bullet and uses one his written style summoning spell called Game. Adonis, clearly with only goal in mind, exclaims it's now time to end every last citizen. Back at the prison, blonde boy named Iku reports that he asserts the entire internment camp, but found no signs of the boy.
We see that
taking care
the
of
situation
actually meant
eliminating
all the prisoners,
and he learns
that a building
was struck
a
by
massive shell. He will head
there
as
soon
possible, but
that
decides
he needs
to clean
the
up
cause
the
of
mess first.
back in the city.
Darok is completely
Distraught,
She blames herself
the
for
catastrophe
that's to come,
since she couldn't
stop Adonis.